Yo boat bros, I'm finally back after a short time away. Well, technically I wasn't away anywhere in particular. I was at home renovating the place, painting, doing flooring. Really boring stuff, not worthy of a video. But I'm back on the video game now, and today I'm going to do a little bit of unboxing. In fact, I've got some boxes propping up the camera right now. It's doing a really mighty fine job of being a tripod. You can probably see part of the box there. I've got a few boxes, don't know what's inside. Let's go pick up some more boxes first and go back to WHQ, aka my house. That's clumsy. Okay, before we get to the mains, let's have a little bit of an amuse-bouche and see what else I've been sent. Now, any of you guys have watched the videos that I've done like way back when I looked like this and Locke looked like this.
Fiber gas, chassis.
Or even way back in the Red Wolf Airsoft days when I looked like this and Locke looked like this. Do note how little Locke has changed, and I think he came out the womb looking like how he does now. And if I'm not wrong, he's even wearing the same shirt in his latest video from way back also. Anyway, for as long as I've known Locke, I've known a guy called Barry who on the odd occasion we've worked together with on videos.
That means it was very painful. Is that right? What the are you, nigga? That's not
and he sent me some stuff. Even though it's random, I think I'll show it because I like him that much. I'm not sure what he's actually thinking here, and I think he might get into a bit of trouble with this branding. And if that other brand is watching right now, I have nothing to do with this, by the way. Bazza, mate! I'll take the stick of the Psycho Cat and put on my case. You can keep the court case. Moving on, we've got something from Lytra Torch. Yes, lighting. Unsurprisingly, when it's called Lytra Torch, it comes with a torch, a rubber thing, another rubber thing which looks suspiciously like some kind of rudimentary contraception, phone mount, and a hot shoe mount here. Colour filters for effect or balancing the colour of the light. It's the kind of light that could be quite useful in those kind of video shoots that last a bit too long and end up being in the dark. The rubber thing softens the light, and there are 3 levels of brightness plus a distress signal, probably. Now before we move on to the main event, I've got this thing from iFootage. This is a pretty damn sexy tripod. Monopod, sorry. This is tasty. That's all carbon fibre there. Carbon fibre goodness. And it comes in bits. And I don't mean it arrived all smashed up in bits and I just realised how rude this might be looking right now. Nice. Smooth. It's one of those monopod. It's one of those monopod things with 1 leg, obviously, and 3 toe things so it can stand upright by itself. It's got a little push button here, so it just stays in place like that. Nice! How many positions? 4 positions. Oh, and then you've got 2 different size threads there. Sweet! Quick release. Not that quick, obviously, so you can take that off. So you can have it short like this. You could even have it as a vlogging tripod like that. And then use the quick release. And then you just extend it, like that. I like it a lot. And then it comes with a head as well. Very nice stuff. For my vids, I think this will become incredibly useful. No need to faff about with a tripod all the time. Let's see. Vloggers, there's tons of you wanting to do it out there, but when it comes to getting carrot, they're not cheap, these things. But this is potentially a great all-in-one solution. Well, it says all-in-one 4K camera stabilizer. I mean, this is potentially a brilliant idea because it's stabilized. It can shoot 4K, 12 megapixel photos, it's lightweight, and I'm just reading the box here. What else has it got? Well, you can see on the screen. Now, when I first thought about getting a vlogging camera, I thought I'll get the DJI Osmo because I thought, yes, 4K, stabilised so I can get some nice smooth footage while walking along. I could even be running, but then it turned out the closest focusing distance is about 1 meter. My arm isn't that long, but this seems to be the solution. This is the K1 from Removu. If you take in the wording from Removu's website, you'll realise that this has a selfie suitable 50cm minimum focusing distance. Wait a minute, that's got to be a mistake. Well, maybe not word for word, this is definitely not 50cm focal length. Well, at least I hope it's not, otherwise that's a 500mm lens and all you'll see is my eyelash. What do you get? What do you get? You get a charger. Yes, it charges. Lens cap, stickers. That is really all you need to know. Well, the proof in the pudding is, as they say, well, let's not eat it, but let's go out and shoot a bit with it. Okay, how do I do this? I want a selfie on me. 3 clicks of that button and the camera will spin around and focus on your face. It's pretty quick and responsive. There we are, selfie mode, okay. Let's get forward. Boom. So it's got a little tiny 1.5-inch screen. That's weird. That looks like some anamorphic shit. Video geeks, don't get too excited. I just mean it looks a bit stretched.
Yeah, it looks weird.
It's got some weird distortion going on, could be pincushion, makes faces look slimmer, can see it even on a 1.5-inch screen. It's a small screen meant to show if your elongated head is in the shot or not. You know, it's just enough really. You just need to know if you're in the frame or not. Don't know why that would be, as a 17mm equivalent, unless you're an elephant, you'll be in the frame, but you can move the camera around with the D-pad anyway. Okay, so it's wide enough, but it's stabilised. I've got this mic on it. It comes included with a mic. You can plug the included mic into the 3.5mm socket, which points out sideways. I have to wonder, I'm not sure if it's just how it picks up the sound though, because it's pointing that way. It's fine if it's omnidirectional.
Probably not.
Probably not. Omnidirectional means directions in an omnified way. All directions. Here, there, everywhere. And you can find your emergency exits to the left and the right.
The footage, I can't tell. The screen's bad. So yeah. I can't tell if the footage is good.
No. I mean, this is basically a DJI Osmo. Well, let's say it's a rip-off. It's a similar concept. But whereas the Osmo, it didn't have a built-in screen. You had to use your phone. This is kind of like an all-in-one package.
Yeah, that's handy.
It's handy for people. It's lightweight as well. Smaller. And you've tried vlogging with an Osmo, haven't you?
Yeah, it didn't work out well. The quality was shit.
The gimbal itself is incredibly responsive, can't fault it. It seems to have the right features. And then you can boost it with Pro Mode. Alright, all it means is that you can change the ISO, exposure value, sharpness, and choose the white balance, or have it off for no white balance apparently. That's really all you need as a pro. It's white balance, ISO, and sharpness. And look at that. How many products these days do you get one of these stickers? It's always good to know that in terms of quality control, it's passed. Great news if you're unsure if your tech has been QC inspected or not. Something else that you shouldn't worry about too much also is battery life. Yeah, so the battery life on the Osmo was not great. This is about 4 hours. Huge caveat, 4 hours at 1080p. It would be terrible if that was at 1080p though. And I'm sure, I have a funny feeling that is the specification for 1080p. I'm gonna have to check that out. I just checked it for you. Although on the product page, the text overlaying these 4 beautiful people who can only take selfies looking over the left shoulder says 4 hours continuous. Check it in the specs and it says 4 hours 1080p. No Wi-Fi, no LCD. Another issue that might be problematic for these 4 model types is that they'll probably think their left shoulder is their right shoulder because the screen isn't mirrored in selfie mode. Okay, that's... Is any option for... Because that, when I'm looking that way, on the screen I'm looking that way, if that makes sense.
It's inverted.
Yeah. Look, my left hand looks like it's my right hand. Confusing. It's like I'm FaceTiming my doppelganger and we're just waving at each other at the same time. I couldn't find any way of getting the screen mirrored also. No. Nothing. Nothing. Orientation, up. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. for vlogging, it's nice to have a camera that isn't that heavy.
This is good for vlogging.
Yeah,
for sure. It's just the quality. Okay, so this is a comparison between the GH5 and the Removu.
Whatever it's called.
Removu.
Remove you.
Okay. So here's the GH5. Here's the Removu.
Yeah, Remove you is a bit wider there. Let's not kid ourselves. It's not going to come anywhere near the GH5. Apart from now, when it's being held next to it, it's near to it physically. The video quality, don't expect amazing 4K. And I wouldn't bother turning the sharpness to low because it makes it incredibly soft. Too soft. The colours aren't great, but that's not the cause of the long face, that's the distortion. But the gimbal works really well, has a selfie screen and focuses close for a bit over $400. The alternative is to pay little under $500 for a DJI and buy a cheap Polaroid close-up filter for it. It works. I've tried it. And I think I've made my choice already. So there we are, that's what I think of the Removu K1. And oh, by the way, if you're interested in getting a gimbal for your smartphone, you might want to check out Locke's latest video. He compares a DJI against a snopper? Yeah, never heard of them either. But the video is so lit, they had to keep a water fountain on Locke's ass to keep him from catching fire. Also, while I was out shooting the video for this Removu, I was doing a smartphone camera comparison test thingamajig, which will be up next. And then after that, I've got a tips video. Watch this space, quite literally, because it will probably be right here on the screen. Please subscribe somewhere over here. And to Locke.